Hello and welcome today to Mark No Horsemanship. Here we are with Ruby, a 2-year-old quarter horse filly. Ruby's been here actually today 3 weeks, so 22 days actually to be exact. Come quite a long ways with Ruby, but it's because Ruby's allowed us to. It's nothing to do with really my talent or my skills or anything. Without a good horse, there wouldn't be no good horseman. But today what I want to work on, Friday, let me go back and say Friday, I got on her and moved her around a little bit. I'm going to call it the first ride, but I really didn't get her moving her feet quite like I want to on the first ride. And the reason being is I felt like I was crowding her mind and everything, and I just kind of wanted to quit on a good note. I did get her walking around a little bit. She was pretty, I ain't gonna say soiled up like getting ready to buck or anything, but she was pretty stuck in the mud, so to speak. And that's understandable because once you get on their back, anything you've taught them on the ground, even as far as moving forward, it becomes blurry to them. I'm not gonna say they forget it all, but it does become blurry. You got to think about it. These things are, it's a miracle they even allow us to sit on them. So when we get up there and get to punching them with their heels, I don't care how many cues you have created on the ground of maybe nudging them with the stirrup or something like that to get them to walk forward. They forget that when you first get on them. Now, it may come back to them a little bit later, but my main goal for the first ride, no matter how it looks on my part, or no matter really how it looks on their part, as far as being a picture-perfect session with them, I don't care about that. I just want their feet moving. I want to establish forward motion. Now, there's one thing I want you to notice. I've just got a halter on her. I see a lot of people taking first and second rides in a bridle. I don't agree with it. That doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong. It's just that I don't personally do it that way. I like to establish forward, forward, forward for about a week of taking first rides. And then after that, I may start teaching them a little bit about the bridle, snaffle bit. Or maybe a little open hackamore or something like that. Just something that I can teach them to give the pressure on each side and a little bit of vertical. But I do not take first rides in a bit, and I'll explain briefly why. Is because not only are you being up here new to them, but also the sensation or the stimulus or the pressure of that bit in their mouth. If you need to grab a hold of them and talk them out of maybe pitching a little bit with you. That's a light word for bucking. Then with the snaffle bit, if you were to do that, and we all have instant reflexes when stuff like that happens, and we may get a little bit too rough on their mouth. And that's why I don't do it, because I know that in the heat of the moment, so to speak, I may not have the finesse or the feel that I'd like to have. So I don't think I can hurt them too bad with this halter if I was to have to really pull their head around or something. So that's why personally I don't use a snaffle bit. Hey, if you do, then good job, but I personally don't. What I'm going to do today is start off with some, I've warmed this filly up. She's went through her full range of motion. And what do I mean by that? I mean that she's walked and she's trotted and she's loped both directions on this, not this rope, but my longer one, on a lunge rope or on a working rope with her rope halter. And she's went through all of her motions. She had a little bit of buck in her today. Nothing to worry about. It was just feel good. She was up yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. Today's Monday. She was up, quite a bit yesterday, more than she normally is. And so she had a little bit of energy. So I don't mind them pitching a little bit and showing that they're feeling good. So we got all that out of her. Now, before I get on her, I'm going to establish the most important thing. And that's to obey the pressure that's being put on your face and to follow up by yielding your hindquarters. In other words, I'm going to get softness in whatever side that I'm on. Right here, I'm on this side, so I'm going to get softness in the right side of her neck by pulling her to the left. I'm going to get that resistance gone. I'm going to get softness in her rib cage because she has to use her rib cage to yield her hindquarters. And then we're going to yield her hindquarters and we're going to get control of that hip. I want that working for me like a well-oiled door before I get on. So to start with, I'm just going to come in here, and like I say, I ain't going to make no bones about it. I'm just going to pull her right around right here and make sure that she's given in that face and get her what? Kind of loosened up. Hey, it's just like a pair of pliers laying out laying out in the weather. And when they ain't been used in a while, what do they get? They get stiff. See right here, she's not giving me quite the answer I want. Right there, now she's starting to really get in here and give me that softness. Need this softness in this rib cage right here. So the other day when I got on her, what I noticed was, which is a good thing, that this filly did not mind me one bit being on top of her. I could throw my arms up in the air. I could take my hat off and wave it around. I could slap my legs. And she did not mind. So that's a good thing. She's got a pretty good brain in her head. Right here, a little bit of resistance right there. So I don't mind to really get her given in this face and in this rib cage right there before I get up on her. And I'll work this old rusty set of pliers like I was talking about. I'll work it real good before I get up there. And I don't even mind to give her just a little pull right here. Say, hey, you need to get soft to that. Now watch this. Give her another little pull right there. Don't want her leaning on this. Give her another little pull. It should connect to her hip right there. That's nice. That's real nice. So go around this side. And now I'm just going to kind of go to it. I'm just going to come in here and pull that filly around right there. Now, you might say, Mark, looks like you're hurting her. I'm not hurting her because I'm not jerking. I'm giving her a little bit of warning. I'll put a little bit of pressure right here, and then I'll give it one good little pull right there. So after I get that working for me, then I can think about maybe getting on her. Now, I'm going to show y'all two different ways in here today to get these fillies and these colts first ride accomplished. If you're by yourself, which is not really ideal, you want to be somebody with you for safety. But if you're by yourself, I used to be by myself a lot before my beautiful wife that's filming now come along, and she's a big help to me now. But back when I was a bachelor and doing this for myself of the evenings and working a cow farm job during the day, I did this by myself. And I'll show you what I learned how to do it by yourself. Now what am I talking about? I'm talking about if they get sticky and they don't want to move their feet, and you don't have anybody to come in there and help move them around, which is ideal. I'm going to do that today if I have to. I'm going to switch here in a minute and let Bailey film and let Burgundy help me move her around. But I'm going to briefly show you how I get it done if I'm by myself, and it takes a lot of getting off and getting back on. So right here, first thing I want to do is make sure that she's all right with all this. I just like to kind of let them know something's getting ready to happen, not to be worried about it. Got that side a little bit right there. Gonna go over here, kind of do the same thing. Just kind of peck around on them here a little bit, maybe flatten the saddle. Just make sure that they're not surprised by anything. Now this time I'm going to get up on her, see how she feels about that for the day, and then we'll go on with it. So right here, only the toe and my stirrup. Right here, we're just going to rub her. Now right here, right off the bat, I'm just going to ask this filly to unstick herself. Right there. That's all I wanted her to do, right there. Good. Now I'm going to come in here, rub her butt there a little bit. I purposely do that. And then I'm going to attempt to get her what? Moving her feet. So I'm going to ask her to move right here. Now I'm just going to rub. She moved her feet for me, but today, I did a lot of that the other day, and I'm going to do quite a bit of it now. But I'm actually going to try to get her to move out just a little bit today. I'm going to show her with my arm. Look here, I got my arm going forward. She's got a little hump in her back. I'm just going to talk her out of this. Say, hey, you ain't got to be offended. You don't have to be offended by all this. There's no reason to protect yourself. I'm going to come in here, see if I can't get her moving right here. She's getting a little bit sassy. So when she gets sassy in her head right there, I come in here and let her know, hey, first ride or not, you know, I can control your feet. So you don't want to get too sassy. So right here, you see how stuck she is? So if I was by myself, or if I didn't have anybody experienced enough to move me, here's what I'd do. I'd get off, and I would remind her, hey, you need to move them feet. kind of get your mind unstuck for a minute. And I may not have to use burgundy today. I don't know yet. I'm giving you two ways today. But right there, we kind of got our feet moving a little bit. So there's a lot of time that you can waste. You don't want to waste too much time. You want to get back up here while their mind is on moving. See what I mean? And go right back at it again. Say, hey, move your feet. Like I said, got a little hump in her back. That's okay. Got her feet moving here just a little bit. Right here now. Right here again. If you're by yourself, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. But I'm really gonna let her know. See right there? There was that surprise that I felt in her. See, if I kept poking and prodding up there, she'd have gave me that right there. Now that wasn't much, but hey, I don't want it at all. So right here, kind of got a little bit worried. And yes, I said worried, and that's okay. Kind of got a little bit worried about me. She needs to know what? That I mean business. Wait on her feet to stop right here. Get back on. Get planted in. And what? Get these feet moving. Get these feet moving. That's what I'm telling her. Don't lollygag. Get them feet moving right there. If you're by yourself, hey. See right here? I don't mind to get after. Hey. Just a little bit. She's got a little hump in her back still. Get these feet moving. I'm just going to relax. Let her trot. She's starting to get the idea. There's a fine line of getting the horse moving and getting them mad. So we're going to get this freed up right here a little bit on this side first. Hey. Before I go the other way. Now she's moving. She's a hot rod. She's got a little hump in her back and her rear end's up higher than her front. She'll settle down in a minute. Hey. I really like to get their feet moving. So let's do that again, right here. We'll come off of her right here. Make sure she's stopping. Or you stopped. And really get these feet moving. Say, hey, I've told you to move your feet. See, she just don't know when you get on her. We'll go this way now. Let's go this way now. There we go. Now, while her mind is on moving, now then again, I repeat myself, this is if you're by yourself or you don't have anybody experienced enough to move you around. And that person moving you around is pretty darn important. They need to know when to put pressure on and when to take it off. See what that did right there? Now she's not moving out very big. Hey. But she is moving. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to keep bumping that head a little bit up so she can't get it down to one butt. Okay. I'm going to get her feet moving. I'll make a believer out over here in just a minute. Hey. Look at that. Now she give me a little bit right there. Let's build on that now. Let's build on that. Build on what? Build on going forward. She went forward for me. So now I'm going to give her a break. Let her know what? She did good. She did a good job. She's a little bit, I ain't going to say nervous, but she's a little bit weary of me being up here. So she finds it hard to stand there and relax. We'll work on this left side a little bit more. And then we'll do the right. Burgundy, are you fine right there? If you need to go outside the gate, I think I'm going to be all right without you. I think. So if you want to go outside the gate where you're more comfortable. While she's doing that, we're just going to sit here and rest. I don't mind one bit. Sort of flex these things while I'm sitting here. Now she's never really saw me out of this eye over here. Right there, that's good. So there's the first time she saw me. We'll sit here and keep this little filly busy. Right there, she gave. Just for a minute. Now right there, they'll fall with you now. Can't take your head away from them. These things with your weight up here, they do not have good balance. So right here, we'll ask her to move out again. Hey, she's not a bad filly, but I knew that I would struggle with forwardness. Now to keep from beating her around so much, I thought maybe she'd be a little bit better, but Bailey.
Hey, Bailey.
Watch you. I am going to get Burgundy to move me because we really need to get some forward motion going here. And I don't want to have to beat her ribs off to get it done. So, hello, welcome back. Now Bailey's filming. Burgundy's going to help me move this filly. I have not untracked her since I stopped it. So we're just going to get her moving. Let's get her moving, Burgundy. Burgundy's just going to help me get her moving. We're going to do a couple circles. She's going to get that out. Go ahead and pop that with her. There you go. She really needs to move her feet. I'm going to kick while she pops the whip. Right there, now move her out. Not too much. She's a little bit, hey, listen, wait. She's really sensitive to that whip. I didn't tell you, but, all right. Move her out right here. Now we got her feet moving. You might say, well, Mark, you're not doing it though. Burgundy is. No, but yes, you're right. But I'm riding her. That's what we're trying to get done here. Is get me being up here. We'll wean her off of Burgundy. Hopefully during this session. Forward motion's all I want. I'm going to kick to get her moving here. Don't want her loping just yet. I like a trot. Horse needs to learn how to trot. I'm adjusting stuff. Don't do that. All right. Now let's see if we can get a canter. There we go. A little more. You can keep it going. Keep it going. All right. Now you can give her a break. Just back up. Right there. Now, got her feet moving to the left. Now, there's one thing I haven't done. I haven't even moved her in a circle to the right. So we're going to go ahead and get that done and just do it slow. Sometimes it's a whole different deal over here. So you got to keep that in mind. Now I'm just going to ask Burgundy to move me right here, just like that. One more time. I'm going to kick. Right there, good. I'm going to kick right here. Get her moving. All right, Burgundy. All right, get her moving. I'm going to long trot her right here. That's good. That's good. I'm going to let her know I got her a couple times. All right, Burke. Come on, come on, come on. Don't let her shove up like that. Again. Just letting her know I got her. What's the purpose of that? Come on, baby. Work on a little canter right here. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, back up. We'll do this kind of quick now. Get that out, come on. There we go. If you notice, I'm going to start doing a little more now, and Burgundy's going to do a little less. Matter of fact, she's going to go more to the middle and quit walking as much. Now, forward, forward, forward. Back up. Go this way a time or two. Let her know I got her right there. She got a little wild, not wild, but nowhere near wild, but she's got a little bit ahead of herself and me too. Get a canter going this way by myself if I can. Look at that. Pretty good. Good. Now what we're going to do right here, Burgundy's going to leave. We're going to pretty much wind this session down because, believe it or not, she's just 2 and I don't weigh that much. But my weight and her stamina together ain't quite met each other yet. So she's running out of energy. She's giving me both directions, walk, trot, and lope. She does need to quit lollygagging though. I like them to move here without just lollygagging wanting to stop. She can walk too. We'll keep this walk going. She wants to trot, that's fine. But really the first ride on her, now I was on her Friday just a little bit, but it really wasn't enough to ride home about. We'll hook that nose right there, get her moving around this way. She kind of saw me out of the other eye there, you see. Kind of had a moment. Now I like this little walk she's starting to get right here. I like to end up walking. I like to quit with them just walking around, relax, looking at me out of both eyes. I'm able to kind of slap my legs here a little bit. Get her going this way again. Kind of get her moving out this way in a relaxed way. Ain't that nice? Just a little baby here. Not going to do much of this. For y'all out there wondering, I'm not going to do much of this. She's actually going to go home here in about a week. I may put 6 weeks on her, but I doubt it. I think it'd be a good, if I can get a few more rides between now and her being here 30 days, which is another week, next Monday, I think that'd be pretty sufficient for her. That's the way I like to start them, and then let them go and grow. Go and grow. Turn them back out. This man's got a big, nice pasture with hill on it, flat too, creek to drink out of, big, nice, pretty creek. So she'll grow really well out there. And after this few rides, that'd be the best thing for her, is to go back and beat and let grow. So right here, I'm just going to stop her, or let her stop. We'll do a little bit of desensitizing here with this rope. I just like to do it before I get off of them. Right there, she thought that meant go, and that's okay. Just take this rope, toss it all around her feet, her legs. Make sure I can wave at my neighbor. Take my hat off and wave at my neighbor, whatever I need to do. Just quit on a really good, relaxed note. And just let her know that it's okay for me to be here. So I hope you enjoyed that. Basically, the first ride on a 2-year-old filly. Got on her a little bit Friday, like I mentioned 3 times already, but I like to make sure y'all understand. Bailey's over there laughing at me. Let me get her turned around where I can say adios to you all. But we'll continue with her. And I appreciate you watching, and God bless you.